on dialing up security, the need for voice security in contact centers, Mr. Srinivasan Narayanan, CEO, Assertion. Mr. Srinivasan Narayanan, an innovative tech enthusiast with 10 plus international patents, is dedicated to solving real-world problems through technology. Founder of Assertion, his vision focuses on enhancing cybersecurity for collaboration systems. Recognizing the vulnerabilities in voice and video over IP, Assertion provides unmatched visibility and security, ensuring the safety of these systems in remote user deployments.
I think it's probably been my first on-stage for like at least 10 plus years that I can remember. So don't curse me if I screw up, okay? And I guess we are talking about a topic that is pretty much something that all of us experience every single day, scam calls, right? Pretty much, it's a topic that I don't need to really introduce. And I guess our organizers hate me as much because they've put me after lunch. I hope I will keep you guys awake through this session. So what exactly is scam, right? So do we all know the kind of problem that it is? Today, scam is actually an industry. Just like we tell that we work in a hotel industry, I think scam is now an industry in itself. It's now reached $1 trillion, which pretty much is as good as any other industry that all of us know of. It is a worldwide problem. It's not restricted to a specific country, to a specific audience, to a gender, age group, nothing. All of us can, at any point in time, fall victim to a scam. Right? And it's reaching epidemic proportions. Today, most countries recognize this as the fastest growing crime rate, which you can see on the map. And here you can have some statistics pulled up by our marketing department. It's in hundreds of percent. Every year that we look up for data, it grows in the hundreds of percentages. So what exactly is scam? If we have to understand that, it is just that there's a bad actor who is misusing the trust that you place in something or someone, right? They're able to use the trust that you have and misuse it to their own gains, right? And we are looking at certain channels, specifically voice is a channel that as humans we trust. It's one of our sense organs. We are so used to talking. Voice is a channel that all of us trust. And so the attackers try to impersonate someone to the other extreme where they have set up contact centers that replicate major banks and draw in callers like you and I, and they try to scam you by collecting information. Right? So scam is something that goes across the spectrum. So today what we will do is we look at a couple of examples of popular scams that we've seen out there and how can we help protect from it. A very popular scam in the US is the income tax refund scam. So here what the actors or the scammers would do is they would call the audience and tell them that they've received income tax refund, they've overpaid it, and so there's a certain process to claim back a refund. I mean, who wouldn't like a tax refund, right? I mean, all of us would love that, right? We hate paying taxes, right? Okay, I'm not recorded, right? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so the point is, when you get this, you tend to fall for it, and you would go ahead and try to engage in the conversation, and obviously that plays into the attacker's approach, and so people end up losing millions of dollars. It is so rampant, and it is so big a deal that the US government has an official number that you can see there that you call in case you think you're being scammed around this. Right? So let's look at variants of this. So you think that, hey, you know what, this is happening in the US, it doesn't matter to me. No, not like that. There are multiple variants of a scam which is of this nature. And I heard this in Bangalore. One of my friends, he got a call from a person who said that you are, like a good customer and you're getting an insurance premium holiday. So, you've been paying for the last 10 years. They knew the company name, they knew the policy number. They said, you're getting a premium holiday. So you don't have to pay this next premium if you do X, Y, and Z. And everybody likes that, why wouldn't you save another 30, 50,000 rupees, right? So you get sucked into scams like this. So utility bill payment, most of us are in Maharashtra. MSCB utility bill payment scam is a popular scam here. If any of you have fallen for it, my apologies. But that is this kind of a scam. Let me look at another kind of a scam, which is very recent. MGM, which is one of the largest casino operators in Las Vegas and a very large hospitality company, was shut down for 7 working days. They could not take a single booking across all of their resorts worldwide. And this was because they were hit by a ransomware attack where all of their booking systems were offline. So how did this happen, right? The case of MGM is very interesting because they lost $100 million. They did not back down to the attackers to pay the ransom, and they said, no, we will fight this out, right? And this is as latest as just September of 2023. This attack, the modus operandi of this attack was pretty intriguing because all it took the attackers was 10 minutes, just 10 minutes to bring down a multi-billion-dollar company's systems and inflict $100 million damage on MGM. So this can happen to MGM, this can happen to all of us, right? And the way they approached this problem was, first they did some social engineering to identify the agents in the contact center that they wanted to target and the employees that they wanted to impersonate. So once they did their homework, they called into the contact center, connected with the agent, and to the agent, they spoke in such a way that the agent believed that they were talking to a coworker. And that is the masterpiece, right? So once the agent believes they are talking to a coworker, they actually helped reset the password, and the attackers now gained access to the core systems by which they went further ahead into, as you can see, Azure and everything else, and basically encrypted everything and asked for a ransom. So if you look back and distill this, what you notice is attackers used 2 key ingredients, as we call it in security terms, anatomy of an attack. The 2 key ingredients. They used people, and they used voice as a channel. So when you look at security, we've got multiple pillars, right? And people is one of the weakest links. You can set up great processes, great technology. You have all the PCIs and audits and all of that, but people is a different issue altogether, right? So here you can see how the attackers used people and voice as a channel to inflict this damage. Before I go on to the next slide, I want to ask you guys, and probably like a little survey here. All of you deal with any number of businesses, from your credit cards to your home loans to your car service and n number of businesses. How many of you know the customer service number of the businesses you interact with on a day-to-day basis? Can you please lift your hands? Or do you search it in your search engine if you want to call them and then make a phone call? How many of you search? I hate these lights. There's no way, as it is, I have power, and I can't see a damn thing. Okay, so this is exactly what happens to 99% of us, and this is exactly what happened to this gentleman who, in the quest of claiming a 100 rupees refund from Uber, ended up losing 5 lakh rupees. The only mistake he did was he searched for Uber's customer service number on Google. That's it. That's the only mistake. He found the number, he called the number, and this is what we call as a fake contact center scam. So we've heard this from HDFC Bank, we've heard this from all the top banks in India that we work with. There are any number of cases with the cyber police from our financial institutions where they allege that these attackers copy the entire IVR experience of the bank, and they host it on some number. And what they do is they set up SEO such that in a small locality, the search would ensure that their fake numbers come on the top. So if you're searching for, let's say our friend Gopal just took Union Bank of India, so I'll just take. You just search for Union Bank of India's customer service number, you will get some number. Let's say if you're searching in 24 Parganas district in Bengal, you will get that number. You'll think it's the number, you call the number, but it's actually a fake call center. These guys have completely copied the IVR experience, and you as a gullible person would enter your 16-digit debit card number, the expiry date, and everything. So much for your PCI compliance and ISO audits, right? This is customer just giving information on a platter. And then obviously, when we speak to the leadership at banks, every day when we were with the retail heads, they say they get like about 100 incidents a month. That's an average. Okay? So I just wanted to sort of get you guys intrigued by the various kinds of scams that happen. And when we look at customer conversations, and especially we are representing BPO as an industry, we look at conversations in 4 areas. The first one that you can see is where the enterprise reaches out to the customer. So you'd reach out for various reasons, whether you want to do upsell, collections, surveys, right? The times when customers will reach out to the enterprise, whether they have support queries or they want inquiries. And there are times when the attacker will reach the customer. It's on the other side, right? They're trying to do impersonation, like pay the utility bill and so on and so forth. And the case of Uber is a fake call center scam, where they set up numbers and lure you in through various things like the SEO. So our job as industry leaders is to ensure that we encourage these conversations, which is on the left side, the green color ones, right? And we detect and eliminate the conversations on the right-hand side. And as BPO, we actually own the voice channel. We run the contact center for so many of our customers. And I think it's our responsibility to ensure that voice as a channel is secured. Every time a customer in the public experience hears of a scam, their trust in the channel reduces 1 notch. And as industry leaders, I feel it's our responsibility to ensure that we bring trust back into voice. Right? So since I'm here at the behest of our marketing team, I have to say something about Assertion. So we are a company that specializes in voice security. We are a research-oriented shop. We have at least 100+ patents in our portfolio. Multiple products that ensure that you and your customers are safeguarded, and we leverage the trust across multi-channels, be it your mobile application, your website, et cetera, to ensure that the voice as a channel gets the trust that it deserves. We're available at the booth. You could always give us a shout, and we'll let you know how to protect you and your customer. Oh, one last thing. Many people think security is a cost. I beg to differ. So security, while you're providing that, can also be to your advantage. And I'll give you one simple example of that, how rewarding that securing a channel can be. Think about this. If your customer trusts a particular brand and can verify that the incoming call is from the brand that they trust, what are the chances that they will actually answer the call and have a meaningful conversation? We've seen that skyrocket when customer trusts the brand, and they can verify that a given call is legitimate. Now, when customers answer the call, you're naturally going to get more sales, your KPIs are going to increase, and that's a win-win for everybody. So security doesn't have to have a cost to it. You could actually start thinking of it on how profitable securing your voice channel could be. With that, thank you very much for your attention and time. Hope you're awake at the end of the meeting. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Narayan. That was a very crisp and insightful little session that we had over there.
After running by 2 minutes, you still say that?
I think it was crisp and it was extremely insightful. May I request Mr. Rupesh Chandran to kindly join us on stage to felicitate Mr. Sri.